I'm president of Williams Baptist College. I oversee a faculty and a staff that provide Christian liberal arts education to almost 500 students. There's rarely a day passes where we don't think about the airfield, whether it's looking at the chapel or looking down the street at the airport. Often we find artifacts of when those days were here, and we pass those on. But it's integral to who we are. A lot of the people in the early days when the buildings were still here, those folks remember going in and out of those buildings, and some worked for the companies that were here that took over those buildings when the military left. So there's just always a constant reminder that there was a history before Williams Baptist College. Well, we certainly support Harold and his work here at the museum. We have several people on the board. Our Dr. Spillman, who's one of our professors of history at the college, brings his groups down here, his students down here, and they work quite a bit. A few years ago, they were involved in a conference that they had about the different aspects of World War II history, and our students put up displays regarding those different aspects of history, and they were involved in that way. Well, the Commandant House was Dr. Williams' house for years. He lived in that house up until 97 or 98, until he passed away and then Mrs. Williams moved to Hot Springs. But we've been very involved in that. Our people raised the money through the various foundations to restore it and put it on the National Historic Registry. So it's still our property, and we don't have the funds to fully restore it, but we say we dry it out. Water can't get in it now, and they did a good job in taking it back to the original structure. Dr. Williams had added some patios and porches and things, and they went back to the original drawings and restored it to that original status that it was. Well, I'm a history buff anyway, so it's always interesting to me what preceded an area. Here you've not only got the prehistoric area with the arrowheads and different tools that you can find around in the creeks and fields, but also you got the pioneer days with the seminary, with Mount Zion cemetery, with Mount Zion and the church that was there at one point. And then you have the airfield and all that went on during that 4 or 5 year period. And now you got the college, so it's a real rich history. And when you drive on campus and you see the different things that acknowledge that history, for a history person, you say there is a history here. It's just not dirt. Things happened here with civilization along the way. The college was originally founded in Randolph County. It really has its roots at First Baptist Church, Pocahontas, where Dr. Williams pastored. He met with some Baptist leaders actually in Ravenwood, Arkansas, back in, I believe, it would have been the spring of '41. And then that's when the college formed. It was in the old high school administration building in Pocahontas up until 1946. In 1946, the building burned. And then Dr. Williams knew that there were empty buildings here, so he contracted with them to just move the campus down here. It was really providential that space was open, and it was something that would be compatible to a college-type campus. So they moved all the students down here. And then as time would have it, and it's a long story, providential story, just a lot of God's providence, but a lot of Dr. Williams' just pure tenacity of coming here and working with government officials. It's a great story and there's 4 or 5 pivotal stories that will make the hair on your arm stand up, but also show you that God was really in moving Williams Baptist College to what was an airfield then. Well, when they came here, there were a lot of older people would tell you a lot more better about this. But when they came here, there were still a lot of wooden buildings here. I think the only stone structure was the Commandant House, and that's a story in and of itself how that was built that way. But the college came in, it made do with what they had, and then over time burnt some of the buildings, removed the buildings, and then really from about there was a growth period in the late 70s, but in the 1990s when Gerald Swain was president, he really, within a 15-year period, made it into the campus that it is today, and really brought it up to a world-class campus. And Dr. Nicholas before him as well in the 70s as they built the Mabee Center and some key buildings as well. So. Well, we certainly promote the museum among our students, and it's something that we're proud of as a neighbor. We have no plans for it. We've not thought about it, or I think in generally people are proud of the museum, and we certainly tell our visitors that we have on campus, you need to stop by the museum. You're going to be surprised at what you find down there. So we do that. We hope it has a long life and sticks around for a long time, because it's something that is part of our heritage, particularly the diorama behind me, and seeing what the campus used to look like and what it looks like now. That perspective is good for not only visitors, but for especially our students who live and study here on a daily basis. So our hope is that we can be really good neighbors to them and support them and just keep it going. I hope that in the future that the museum can grow and just continue the effort that they have, because they're so focused on what they do, and they've really done a great job in preserving the history. I think it's sad that people live in an area and never know that there was a long history before them. Like I said, for example, on this property, there's a prehistory, there's the pioneer history, there's the air base history, and now the college history, and those ought to be preserved, and people ought to know about it and appreciate it, and especially appreciate the people that put their lives and heart into building a place, and that doesn't go unnoticed. That the people who are buried in Mount Zion cemetery, or the people who made the prehistoric stone tools that you can find around here, or certainly the people at Williams Baptist College. But that 4 or 5 year of the Army Corps history here, there are people that was their life for that 4 or 5 years, and some people died to make that happen. So it's just good to preserve that out of honor for all those people who lived and died and worked here. So. Our professors, we have 3 history professors right now. History is a cornerstone of the liberal arts education. That's what we are. We're a Christian liberal arts college. All 3 of our professors are obviously history buffs, but one of them is a local history buff. He was born and raised in Lawrence County, so he has a familial tie to Lawrence County. Our other one is a World War II specialist in that regard, and then our other professor, he's also a World War II specialist as well. So all of those guys utilize this in helping them in their own personal interests, but also with their students as well. I think the message that I would like to give to people is that we support the museum, we are proud of it, we constantly refer people to it. It's a big part of who we are, it's a big part of our history. The airfield and what the college does, the airfield train people in protecting and preserving and introducing liberty to people around the world, training people to go and protect that around the world. We have a similar mission in that we have a mission to train our students in whatever field or profession they choose to go and spread the news of liberty that you get when you have a relationship with Christ. So we're all about liberty, and we share those common goals. But in our area, this is one of the along with Beatles in Walnut Ridge and the different aspects around, we really appreciate what this means to our area and just the class of the thing. It's not a mom and pop operation. It is a classy museum that people can be proud of and learn something and think about the future when they're doing that as well. So.